So the an exciting part of getting a new site and changing hosts is also getting new, nicer players. I mean, this web player, audio player is nice. This is the one that comes with Appendipity through my Blubrry Podcasting Hosting using the PodPress plugin. Nothing fancy, but compared to what's out there nowadays, as I'm going to show you here in a second, they made a lot more cool improvements. Appendipity is no longer around, so that's one of the reasons I'm changing. So here's an example. New site that I'm playing with, new podcast that I'm thinking about launching, called Murder in Rural America. But as you can see, these players are much nicer. So this one is from Simplecast, which is the one of the new podcasting companies that I'm looking at. So it's got a lot more bells and whistles, more call to actions, and where's to sharing it. So it's a good looking player. And then another one that I like here is this is from Transistor, which is the other company that I'm looking at. More low key, but it's got a lot of bells and whistles as well, especially compared to what I'm using now. Got the logo there. It's got nice, cool features as you can see here. This isn't actually my podcast. I just using one of their embed codes to to test it out. So this is the audio that comes with Transistor. And then the one that I'm looking at moving here is with Captivate. Oh, this is the one with Captivate. I really like this one a lot. It's got this cool little audio wavelength effect on it. I think the color looks really good too. Just a very good looking player. It's got all the bells and whistles that come along now with the players. As you can see, notes, ways to subscribe and to share. Then you got different ways of showing the Captivate logo. You can remove it if you want, show like this more discrete one, or have a bigger one. So very cool. Very vast improvements in the web players. I'll show you through the inside of the dashboard for Captivate. And it's pretty straightforward. These are similar. Simplecast is very similar. Transistor is very similar. Right, I'm going to show you is how to add an existing one. So you click here, and if you're going to create a brand new one like I did with Murder in Rural America, you just click here, create a new podcast. But now I'm going to import my existing podcast, Meet the Thriller Author, which has over 106 episodes. This is a pretty big one, a pretty big podcast. And it's pretty straightforward, though. You just need to put in your RSS feed in here. So in order to be able to import that data in here. And so here I'm getting it from Blubrry, my current podcast host. I just copy the RSS feed from here. So wherever you're hosting this. And so let me show you here. So once we're back to the dashboard, just paste that in there. Paste the RSS feed. Select your current podcast host. So as I said, I'm using Blubrry. So click on that. And then you click on this button here, and it'll pull the first three latest episodes. So you just need to double check to make sure that everything's looking good, and hit the play button here and listen to it just to make sure that it's looking correct. You check your current data, your current meta tags, your categories, all that gets pulled in directly from the RSS feed. So just double check that. Important to look at the number of episodes that you're importing, so you make sure it matches. So there's 106 shown here. And if you go to my website, you'll see that I'm up to 106. So that is correct. It's going to pull everything from the current. That's current. So that's all looks good, ready to go. So click on set up your import here. And this is going to set up the feed URL, the new RSS feed with Captivate. There's other things you need to do later on. You need to set up a 301 redirect. But they recommend, and I've seen this across from all the podcast hosts that I've seen, when you're transferring to a new host, they recommend that you stay with the current one for 30 days just to make sure everything goes over before you do the final 301 redirect. So I won't be doing that right now, but I'll just go ahead and check this. and I'll go ahead and import my podcast. Now, if you're doing this and you decide that you don't want to use this, for example, if I decide I don't want to use Captivate, I can go ahead and back out later on. This is just creating a copy right now. So there you go. It's pretty straightforward. This is the new one, and so here is my current one, and you can click here and check the progress. But anyway, so just gotta wait now until everything is imported over. If you click here on Edit Show Settings, you can update everything. You can change anything you want. This is where you do that. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty slick. You can cancel if you decide to back out of you don't want to use Captivate. It's pretty easy to cancel out. Oh, one thing I wanted to show you, they have pretty good support here. I had a couple questions with Captivate, and they replied to me right away. And I like that they followed up even after they answered my questions. She asked me, "Do you have any other questions?" And they responded pretty quickly. So far the support has been pretty impressive. And she even tells me, if you have any more questions, let me know. So pretty cool. And you get the support right from the dashboard here. So it makes it very easy, to set up an extra ticket or anything like that. So once everything is moved over, they will email you, which you can see here, and it just lets you know that everything is ready. And it's pretty fast. I imported 106 episodes. It just took a few minutes. And as you can see now, that's 106 episodes. All my episodes have been imported in to Captivate. So just gonna check everything, make sure everything looks good, and it does. We'll go from the beginning, look at the first episode. There it is, which was done back in 2015. So everything has moved over from the first episode to the latest. A cool feature that comes with Captivate is they have their own WordPress plugin called Captivate Sync. And that means that you can install it on your WordPress. As you can see, is what I've done here. And you can manage your podcast right from your WordPress dashboard versus having to go to the Captivate website. So for example, here you can get your embed code links for your player, for example. And I'm doing that right here from the dashboard. And then you can go ahead and take a look at them. You can edit your data, your episode information right from your dashboard. So you can do it all from one spot versus having to go to the actual website. And this was something that is unique to Captivate with comparison to the other sites. You can show the settings here. You can publish the episode. So right from the dashboard. And let me show you. You can click on View as well, and it'll show you the web player on your site. And here's what it looks like. And so it's a pretty cool extra tool. So that, and with the cool player and everything else, is what gives Captivate the edge for me.